My name's Heidi Kirby, and welcome to Secrets to a Healthy Lifestyle Summit. Today, I've invited Karen Hand to join us. Karen is a board certified hypnotist, trainer, international best-selling author, and world-class communicator. Her 30-year career as a Chicago radio personality was the perfect foundation for using language to help others exercise their imagination. Karen's transition to hypnosis repurposed that skill set, and since 2005, she has helped thousands of people take control of their lives. Karen sees clients and conducts trainings in her Chicago office and globally via Zoom. She has received many awards, including Hypnotist of the Year, Educator of the Year, Leadership Award, and the IMDHA Pen and Quill Author Award for Literary Excellence. That's a mouthful. Karen is the author of the best-selling book, Magic Words and Language Patterns, The Hypnotist's Essential Guide to Crafting Irresistible Suggestions, Hypnotic Workshops Like a Pro, co-written with Kelly T. Woods, and her latest book is Trance Dance, The Hypnotic Art of Leading and Following. I can't wait to read that. That just sounds magical. So welcome, Karen. And one of the reasons I chose Karen is because of her passion and her just vivaciousness to help people through this form of hypnosis. So we're in for a real treat today. So thank you.
Thank
you. Who can be hypnotized?
Heidi, everybody can be hypnotized, and everybody has been hypnotized. We have a tendency to think of it like a stage show, right? Lots of people have seen a stage show, or they've seen it in the movies, and they've seen some authoritarian person put somebody into hypnosis. And that's Hollywood, babe. That ain't real. Okay, it's not real. If I were to hypnotize you right now, right, and make it look like Hollywood, I would ask you to close your eyes. So let's pretend for a second. Go ahead and close your eyes. And I would have you relax. If we're doing it like the movies, from the top of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Now, you can go ahead and open your eyes, because that's all the viewer would ever see, is you sitting there with a nice look on your face and eyes closed. That's not exciting. So they have to make it look more exciting. And in a stage show, it really looks like the hypnotist has some kind of magical power and is getting people to do things. Mm-hmm. The truth of the matter is that the stage hypnotist has asked for volunteers. When someone volunteers to be in a stage show, they've given compliance. They've agreed, okay, I'll do any silly stuff you ask me to do. The stage hypnotist makes them pretend they're cold, or they're hot, or they're Elvis, right? The stage hypnotist is never going to ask them to speak French, because if they can't speak French, they'll be caught. And the hypnotist will be caught not being able to make them do something they couldn't do. So the stage hypnotist might say, speak Martian. How are we going to test that, right? So it looks magical. The truth of the matter, Heidi, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Nobody can make you do anything you don't want to do. But when I have clients come to me for hypnosis on purpose, what we do is discover what they want to do, the resources they already have to do it, and repurpose those resources to now work for this particular change. Hypnosis isn't a truth serum. I've had people call and say, I thought about something in my past, and I want you to help me find out if it's true. It is not a truth serum, because nothing in our head is factual. Everything that we think, everything that we do, all the ways, all of our beliefs are fluid, and they change, right? And our beliefs change just like that. Mm-hmm. Back in the olden days, when everybody thought the earth was flat, spoiler alert, It was just as round then as it is now. But everybody thought it was flat, so they didn't sail, right? Well, a Viking said, I don't believe that. Let's go see what happens. They sailed around the world, came back, and everybody's belief changed just like that. Oh, it's round, and Viking Cruise Lines was born, and everybody went on vacation. I mean, beliefs happen just like that, and they change just like that. So when we work with hypnosis, we're working in the realm of imagination and belief. It's way easier to hypnotize somebody accidentally. And I'll bet this has happened to you. Have you ever been walking down a hallway and somebody approaching you says, oh, Heidi, you look tired. Are you okay? And you go, well, I thought I was fine, but I don't know, maybe. Right. That's accidental hypnosis. They've planted a seed, a suggestion. You grabbed that seed and changed your whole belief about how you felt for the day. That's
Right.
kind of accidental hypnosis, right? And it happens all the time. But we place ourselves into trance states. We're in a trance state at all times, and we place ourselves in those trance states. When one visits a hypnotist, they're asking that person to do it to them on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnotists are really not doing anything to anybody, but we are inquisitors. We ask questions. We discover what that person's belief system is. As a matter of fact, my favorite thing, Heidi, to ask the client is, what's your BS? What? BS, your belief system. What is your belief system? And those two things go hand in hand, because whatever you believe, whatever is in your belief system, you're going to act and behave as if that is fact, whether it's fact or not. So why not believe something better? And that's how I work with people. I help them believe something better that will give them a better outcome. But it is all DIY hypnosis. Even if I'm working with a client, it is do-it-yourself hypnosis, because I can't make them go into a trance. Lots of people in my industry call it putting somebody under. That's not what we do. We don't put anybody under. That's what an anesthesiologist does. We don't put anybody under. We work in tandem. It is a dance, and we work together. Even on a stage show, Heidi, if a stage hypnotist, a really good one, were to ask someone to be cold or to speak Martian, and they did all of that stuff, and then the stage hypnotist said, now turn around, drop your drawers, and moon the crowd. If that person's not that much of an extrovert, they're not going to take that suggestion, even if they took all of the other suggestions before it. They're not going to take that suggestion.
So what I'm hearing you say is we, as a client, we have choice. Always.
Always.
Choice. So, and by somebody coming to you, my guess is they want your help. They're already complying.
It's like the volunteers on a stage show. The volunteers come up voluntarily. When someone calls me for help, yes, they're hoping this is the thing that can help them. It's so interesting. Hypnosis should be, I guess I'm a little prejudiced, should be the first line of defense, because try to fix it with your thoughts first. And then if that doesn't work, then go have the surgery or go have whatever, right?
So what, I guess, how does it work in improving one's health when people come to you? Like, give us an example.
So I'm not here, Heidi, really to sell people into my services. I'd love for you to come to me, but that's not the point. Yes, when people come to me, they're wanting to make a change. They're wanting to make a change of some sort, and they want the mind magic that helps make the change. What I'm here really to talk to you about is how to use hypnosis in a DIY, do-it-yourself form, DIY form, because all hypnosis is do-it-yourself. So the hypnotist job, this is a secret I'm going to share with you. The hypnotist job really is to dehypnotize the person from whatever is limiting them.
So you work with their limiting beliefs and what's underneath that.
Yes. I want to know what's stopping them. So I usually talk about, when I'm teaching, I talk about the 7 magic questions that you want to find out from all of your clients. What do you want? That's the number one thing. And in the what do you want, we learn an awful lot about a client. If I were to say, what do you want? And the client says, well, I don't want to be so fat anymore.
Right.
Okay, so they're working from an away from pain strategy. That's the worst strategy for health, because as soon as you're not in quite so much pain, you stop doing anything, right? So that away from pain strategy is really difficult. One thing we might work on is moving them to a toward strategy. What do you want instead? When you have no more pain, then what happens? Well, I want to be able to walk my dog again. Now we've got something we're going for. Now we've got something we're going for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like what you don't want, you create.
You always get what you go looking for. So will you play a game with me real quick? Everybody play this game right where you are, wherever you are. Look around and notice everything you can notice that's blue. Find all the blue that you can find as fast as you can find it. All the blue that you can find, but just blue.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Now just red. Find all the red that you can find. Just red. Now just yellow. Find all the yellow that you can find. Now just the green. Find all the green that you can find. Now, I don't see any of those colors in your background, but let me ask, did you find blue?
Yes.
And when you found the blue, okay, I'm complying, I found blue. And when I said, stop doing that, find red, did you find red? What happened to the blue while you were looking for the red?
It went away.
It went away. That's exactly right. That was the right answer, by the way. Whatever you found that was blue didn't in reality go away, but in your mind, it went away, right? You were looking for blue and the blue was right there. And as soon as we stopped that, as soon as you took my suggestion to look for blue, you found blue. And then as soon as you took my suggestion to look for red, all of that blue went away and the red started popping out at you, right? Same thing with the yellow. It started popping off. I've got books all over the place. The books just almost fly off the shelves, right?
Right.
The point of that exercise is to show that you will get what you go looking for, and everything else disappears. So if one wants to release some weight, as an example, and they have decided that it's all the desserts and a lot of people go on the no white stuff diet, no white rice or potatoes, right? And
Mhm.
so one can negatively hallucinate that. Let's pretend that you're going to a buffet. I don't think they have buffets much anymore, but but you know what a buffet is. Everything's out there. And if you talk to yourself and do a little self-hypnosis before you go to the buffet and tell yourself, I'm going to focus on fresh and alive foods, colorful, bright, colorful foods. I want colorful foods in my diet. Then you go into that buffet and guess what happens to the white stuff?
You don't see it.
You don't even notice it. It disappears because you go looking for blueberries and strawberries and green beans and peas, right? Carrots, other things with strong color. So that's the way that you use hypnosis in the most powerful sense for your health. If I have a client who says, I need to exercise more, right? First, I want to know what's your definition of exercise. So I had a guy who came in and said, I need motivation for exercise. And I said, okay, well, how do you define exercise? And he said, oh, it's a full hour of really hard work and you get really sweaty and you're really tired at the end. And that's what his face looked like. And I went, oh my God, I wouldn't want to exercise either. If that's what I was seeing, if that's what I was imagining had to happen for it to qualify. So I reframed his belief with what we call maybe a shock technique or a redirection technique. I said, have you heard the latest research? It shows that short bouts of exercise are just as effective as long sustained exercise. So if we find ways that you move your body and you don't have to sweat or it doesn't have to take too much of your time, would that be something you could do? And he said, oh yeah, I would do that. We just change the exercise.
Right.
And I have started really small with some clients. I have had clients who are 400 pounds. And the thought, the idea, the reality of walking around the block isn't even
It's huge.
conceivable.
Yeah.
So we start really small. And I'll ask them things like, what do you do while you brush your teeth? Nothing. I wonder if you could march in place. Just gently shift your weight, march in place while you're brushing your teeth. I had a client who said, well, yeah, I've got a Sonicare and it's 2 minutes. I could march in place for 2 minutes while I'm doing that. And it seemed easy to him. And it also seemed like, yeah, but that's not going to make a big change. Right. But once you know that you can do that and move, then where else do you stand in place and do nothing? And he instantly came up with, I could march in place while the coffee is brewing in my Keurig. I could march in place while I'm filling up my water bottle. If I'm ever waiting in line, I could just shift my weight back and forth. And he was extroverted enough that he actually did that. In a grocery store, he would march in place while he was waiting. The point is, he came to me with a picture in his head, and everybody makes pictures or has feelings. Often they're just below the level of consciousness where we're not really aware of them. But the picture he was making of exercise was, God, who would want to do that?
Right.
When we made a better picture, he moved his body and it was easy. So it's a matter of changing a limiting belief, or I can't, to I can.
Right.
And some people need someone to guide them. That's what I'm here for. But I'm asking you to change your own mind about things. When you run up against a limiting belief, wonder, be curious. Is that reality, or can I change that belief in some way to make it doable for me?
That's great. And I'm also hearing like you're providing them different possibilities that
Yes.
they may not see. We all need help with that. Oh, brush my teeth, march in place. Oh, that's movement. Where else can I create movement?
You just advanced it on. That's exactly what happens. Where else can I create that movement? And suddenly, taking one flight of stairs doesn't seem so bad.
Right.
I've had people who work on the 8th floor, back when people worked in offices, but worked on the 8th floor. They would get off on the 7th floor and walk one flight up. And I had a client who did that throughout the course of his weight release program. And he walked, by the end, he was walking up and down all 8 floors easily.
Right. I like the story when we chatted that you talked about the woman that wanted to be a size 8 and you asked her to walk like that. What would you walk like?
What she wanted, and she was in weight release, what she wanted. We had worked a couple of times. And I said, okay, now really, what? Because, we worked on weight release. What's the problem? What foods, etc. It's never really about the food, by the way. It's about all the other stuff. But I said, what do you really want? When you have reached this goal, what is it that you really want? And she said, I really want to be a size 8. Oh, what is that like? And she told me she had in her imagination how a size 8 walks, moves, dresses. And I said, would you stand up and just tell me, show me how a size 8 walks? And she did. How does a size 8 stand? What does a size 8 do when they're standing and having a conversation?
Beautiful.
She pantomimed the size 8 in her imagination. She rehearsed it. And she did so well rehearsing in the office. I just was curious. I don't like to impose. I was curious. I just wonder what might happen if you pretended that all day. And she said, that'll be fun. I'm going to do that. She walked out of the office and she came back the next week and she was 3 pounds lighter without even trying. And she said she liked pretending to be the size 8 so much, she did it every day. And what she discovered on her own, when she left my office that day, by the way, we were on the 6th floor. She said she got on the elevator and there was a man on the elevator. And normally she would sit with her head down. She got on the elevators. But that day, she flirted with the guy and he flirted back. And she said they flirted all the way down to the lobby. And it was fun. And so she had fun that whole week. And when it came time to eat, she looked at food and said, no, A size 8 wouldn't eat that. And it wasn't even appealing to her
Right.
because she took on the whole character of the size 8 and made that her reality. That's
What
how it works. I'm sorry.
what I'm hearing you say is it can be fun. It
Oh, it's a
doesn't have to
blast.
be this restriction, this you can't have that. No, 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 no. You need to let go of that. It's like just a, really a paradigm shift of how you look at. And I love that you use the language release. Wait, release.
I really do, when I'm working with my clients, talk to them about release, because
Yeah.
do you ever lose your keys?
Oh, yeah.
You can't rest until you get them back, right? Loss in the human mind, in our thinking, is something that we want back. So if we lose something, we can't wait till we get it back.
I hate when I lose things. Yeah. I
That's
never made
and
that
that's
connection.
it's a lot of yo-yo dieting happens because of that, right? So let's not lose it. Let's release it. Let's let it go.
Beautiful. So do
Let it.
you want to give us a little experiential in this? Take it
Oh,
home with you.
this is a great do-it-yourself hypnosis technique. So do
Right.
this with me, okay? And we're going to do it. You can apply this to anything you want to apply it to, okay? Is there anything, you don't have to tell me, I don't want to know, but is there anything that you would like to let go of? Stress, worry, fear of something, a few pounds, anything like that? You have something you'd like to just let go of?
Some weight.
Okay, I said you could hold it to yourself, but we're not going to
I'm
talk
an
about it.
open.
We're not going to say anything about it. You're just going to have that in your mind as we do this process, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, not because you have to have your eyes closed for hypnosis, you do not, but because it blocks out visual input, and then you can go a little bit more into your imagination, okay? So with your eyes closed, let's just play with your imagination. Just play with it for a minute. And in the imagination, sometimes people see it. Sometimes people feel it. Sometimes people hear it. Sometimes people know it. And guess what? Sometimes people pretend. And whichever way you decide to do it, it's just fine with me. So there in your imagination, just pretend or imagine that at the tips of each of your fingers, there's a valve, more like a spigot, like a faucet. And open up each of those spigots now. Once you've opened up those spigots, just go inside all the way to the top of your head and notice any of that that you want to release, that you want to get rid of. From the top of your head all the way down to your waist. Just let it drain out. Let it run out those spigots at your fingers. Anything that you want to get rid of, doubt or worry, negativity, from the top of your head all the way down to your waist, just let it drain out those spigots. And you might happen to notice that at the tips of each of your toes, there's the same set of spigots. Open those now. And let all of that doubt or frustration or negativity, concern from the top of your head all the way down to your toes just drain out. Let it flush out. Let it pour out. And as you notice that stream now lessening down to just a dripping, imagine a healing white light from the universe shining right down to the top of your head, shining down to you and all the way through you, cleansing all of those spaces that once housed limiting beliefs, just washing all the way through you until you are glowing, radiant. That's right. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
That was very simple, was it not?
Yeah.
And because you experienced it, now you can apply it to other things. If you want to apply it to a food, if you want to apply it to a thought, a worry. I happen to use that one mostly in rush hour traffic in Chicago. Granted, I don't close my eyes, but if I feel that tension starting in my shoulders in traffic, I open my spigots, breathe it in, and let all of that tension drain out. Then I fill up with my light, and I make it a laser light and hold on to it. So the rest of the trip, I zap people who piss me off, pull out in front of me. Now, when I go someplace, I go, they're happy because I've been playing a game in traffic. The zapping people with my laser light traffic, it's way better than getting there stressed and knuckled and tense, is it not?
100%.
So that is a do-it-yourself hypnosis technique that you can apply to worry or frustration or doubt or any limiting beliefs that you might have.
That was beautiful. And what? That took 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Right. I had a lady who was a self-proclaimed potato chip addict. She wanted to give up potato chips, so we drained out all want, need, and desire for potato chips in particular. She did that technique when she pulled up to the grocery store. She did it right there in her car, drained it all out, got herself prepared, went into the grocery store, and she told me that as she was going to the potato chip aisle, she would do it in the grocery store, drain it out, not want it. And she said, and she would just walk down that potato chip aisle and not want any of it. And I said, you don't have to go down that potato chip aisle ever again anymore. She found a way to use that technique to play with her own imagination, her own mind, to get what she wants. And that's what hypnosis is all about. That's what self-hypnosis is all about, is working with your mind and choosing thoughts that work better for you, that get you what you want.
Beautiful, beautiful. Is there anything else before we kind of wrap up? I can't believe it's been 30 minutes.
I know. So fast.
That you want to add to the conversation?
Well, rather that if you think that someone can help you change limiting beliefs, find a good hypnotist and use it early. Because even if one is going into surgery, they want to go in with the belief that everything's going to go great, that this is going to be healing. I've worked with a couple of people on the COVID vaccine who are a little bit afraid, and we took it in as healing medicine to bring about life, and I give a magic solution for where the shot might go, and they can put the magic solution on there so there'll be no pain. We can work with the imagination in a variety of ways, and that's what I would beseech you to do, is work with your imagination, because it's just imagination. Change it. Like Henry Ford said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So why not go ahead and think you can do and be everything that you want to do and be?
Just beautiful. So tell us about your free gift.
Oh, so what we just did, if you would like to have that in a script or I have it on YouTube, I'll send you the YouTube link. I'm delighted to do that. Or if you want to ask any more questions about hypnosis, you can always email me at Karen@KarenHand.com. But yes, I want to give you, Heidi, that link to that process, if that's okay with you, if that would be useful. And then I'll give you the link, and I'll even send you the script, or if you can email me for the script so that you'll know exactly how to do that for yourself, because hypnosis works.
Yes. I'm a big fan of hypnosis. I've utilized it myself a couple times in my life, and I would encourage for anybody that's dealing with something big to seek someone like yourself to help them start.
It's fast. It's not long and drawn out. Typically, it's fast.
Yeah. So I want to thank you. This was delightful. Thank you for your wisdom and all the things you talked about to help people today. Hypnosis can promote change for good. And you kind of took the hooey fooey out of it and made it very practical for
It's
our
not
audience.
as mysterious as it seems.
No, it's
keep
not.
the mystery about it. It's fun, but really it's working with your mind. Yes. And it's very effective. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure too. Thank you, Karen.